Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today we're going to be premiering not one, but two videos featuring VoicePlay and VoicePlay's mega low note singer, Jeff Castellucci, in an interview right after this first video. So the song we're going to be looking at for VoicePlay, it also features another singer. His name is Jose Rosario Jr. And together they're going to be performing My Mother Told Me. This song was recently released by VoicePlay and it's been doing really well. And I can guess why. They look like Vikings. That's super exciting. I like Vikings. Not only that, this song actually was featured in the video game Assassin's Creed. So that makes me extra nerdy excited. And it was also featured on Vikings, the TV series. So I'm really excited to see exactly how they've arranged it and made it even more cool. Let's get to it.
My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, hew many for.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about all the people here in the group right now. You have Jeff on the far left, and then you have Ellie. Ellie's typically going to be singing your higher notes, but Jose Rosario Jr. here in the middle, I'm not sure exactly what parts he sings. I know he's been in Hamilton, he's been in rockapella, so I think he's got a pretty wide range and could take over a lot of different parts. And then you have Jay, who has one of my most favorite energies. He's always like super joyful, just really fun to watch. And then you have Lane. Now, Lane normally does vocal percussion, but we did hear him singing in here as well, which is kind of cool. He can do both. And altogether, it's funny, the four guys on the right all were singing it in about the same range, around the same notes. And then, of course, Jeff decided to sing it down an octave. I liked the way that they handed off the melody there, but it still sounded like it was in the same place as they were handing it off. Definitely some good post-production there to try and make it sound like, usually I think they record in different spaces. So it sounded like they were all in the same room for that solo. And I think that that is some wonderful production magicry. Let's go back to the beginning. Really cool start to get right into it too.
My mother told me someday I will buy
I like that smokiness.
galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, hew many foemen, hew many foemen. My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow.
This effect of having Jeff on the bottom, they've just like faded him in a couple of times, and I'm hoping that they continue to do this because I think this is going to probably stay mostly in the same key, and that effect is so cool. It almost sounds like he's like a didgeridoo or something like that, or like a long horn. I don't know if that's subharmonics. It might be. Jeff is very, very adept with singing low notes through subharmonics, but he also just has an incredible low range, so he could be singing this full voice as well. Let's go back and check that out. It was right after here, I think.
Many foemen. My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good oars.
I love the way, I'm like, what note is that? It can't be that low. That's really low. That must be a subharmonic. I think that's, okay, so he is currently singing an F1 for those of you who are really curious about that. Note-wise, wow. Wow. That's a really low note. That's lower than I thought it was. That's nice.
Sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow. Noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven. You many foemen.
Oh, this is so cool how they're bouncing around where the voices are sitting. Really, really good arrangement. I think Lane's the one that did the arrangement. By the way, I heard that this came from a fan suggestion. So just so you know, your guys' comments are heard here, and they're also heard on VoicePlay's channel. They're very actively listening. So this is cool. I like the way that their voices are arranged very low when you have Jeff in there. It feels like it really fills out that bottom. And then they'll suddenly kind of travel up higher and have almost like a hole down low, which means that when they go back down, it feels like it's really filling the sound out. It's very effective.
Distant shores, stand up on the prow. Noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven. You many foemen, you many foemen. My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good horse, sail to distant shores, stand up on the
Ooh, that was very, very interesting harmonic.
by galley with good horse, sail to distant shores, stand up.
That's cool. It shifts a bunch there in a way I'm not used to. I'm digging having Lane do some more singing in here, and I think he's also doing the vocal percussion in the background, but it sounds like it might be some stomping and clapping. Very, very cool there. And let's talk a little bit about their backgrounds. You can tell here we've got each guy essentially set in a different background. I was told to watch out for this because apparently Ellie made these backgrounds. Ellie, like meaning the guy that's 2 from the left. He made these backgrounds in Unreal Engine, and then Lane essentially put them into the background. So he did some production after that. I love the idea of using Unreal Engine to make backgrounds like this. That's exciting for me because Unreal Engine is something I'm familiar with from video game production, essentially. So how cool, right? How cool that they used video game software to make Viking backgrounds and a different background for each guy. So it feels like a tribe of Viking dudes who decided to sing together. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
I will buy galley with good horse, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow. Noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven. You many foemen, you many foemen.
I am loving the transition in this section so much. It sounds like they got a lot more reverb put on them, and Elaine is going a lot crazier with that vocal percussion behind. We even had like almost like a kind of like a sound that sounded like something was running by at one point, or like something from a AAA film. Cool. Oh, let's go back. This transition. You hear how all of their voices right now sound like they're really up close and more present on the microphone. Almost like it's just simple, really super simple. Keeping them all in the same reverb space, yeah, so that they sound like they're in the same room. But the switch is really interesting.
Foemen.
I love Ellie's face here. Wow, he is going high with this, really, really high. I love that ba 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 bye, not like bye bye bye, but they all go bye 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 bye. And I love the little it's not exactly an arpeggio, I think. I like the way that the voices stack on top of each other, but in a staggered way. I think it sounds almost like a harp going ring as it goes up.
My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good eyes, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm stopping this so much. It's so good. I am so impressed by how each of these voices have really definite characters to them, right? Let's see, if I were to define like different ways, it's not just the ranges they're singing in, but it's the timbre. Sorry. Okay, so let's go. So Jose Rosario first. Man, it's very interesting hearing another singer for the first time within this mix. He really goes together with them very well. I'm wondering if they're considering adding him to their regular lineup. This is a good combination here. Of course, we will always miss Earl, but anyhow.
Sail to distant shores.
So Jose Rosario has a really, really good bright buzz in the front. That's one of the things that I feel like grabs you right away. It feels like there's no cover, right? Meaning that it just goes straight through, no filter, so to say. And Jay, he sounds like he's got more space and he has like a little more air in the sound. So it has a little bit more warmth to it. And then, honestly, Ellie's voice is, I think, one of the most versatile in the group. I've heard him sing super sweet. I've heard him sing characters like in This Is Halloween, where he's just like really singing out of the mask, like super forward placement. He's got some nice forward placement, a little bit of loft too in times here. But the thing that I've been really enjoying is he's like mixing smoky timbre and snarl in different places here. Then of course Jeff has like just a very, very smooth sound, and then total rumble when he gets super low.
Stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer steady, cross to the haven.
Wow. I get so surprised by Ellie when he just like pulls out a new thing. I loved like a little bit of grit. There's like a little harshness to that.
Up on the prow, noble bark I steer steady, cross to the haven.
He could be in a metal band. Wow.
Many foemen.
Wow, I love that harmony too.
My mother told me someday I will buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shore.
Stand up on the prow.
Wow, that was such a cool way to accent that low note that Jeff hit there. It sounded like there's this trick you can do. I don't know if this is what Lane did, but when a note is held, you can like have a double on it and maybe increase the volume of the double. I hear it sounds like not only a volume increase, but maybe like a little bit of a space increase. So you can do this thing where you automate reverb and make the reverb actually grow as the note is held. It's a really cool feeling. Or it could just be that, Jeff is, as he's holding that note, thinking about expanding it more. But I think I'm hearing a little bit of that reverb shift. It's cool.
Galley with good oars, sail to distant shore.
Stand up on the.
That is awesome. Also want to talk about the moment right before he drops this low note in. I like this movement that Lane is doing. It sounds, is he doing that, like hitting an elbow? It goes with that percussion that we're hearing, and all of the voices are dropped there so that when they come back and they hit you with a little more effectiveness.
Someday I will buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores.
Stand up on the prow. Noble black guy steer. Steady, steady, course to the haven. Hew many foemen. Hew many foemen.
I love that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those camera zooming in was amazing there. Also, costumes are great, right? Who doesn't want to be a Viking right now? I also love the makeup design. Rick Underwoods, I believe, helps them with some of that makeup. It looks really cool. It looks like they're from different Viking tribes. Love the color and the way they have these 5 different spots of color as well. But yeah, I would, like, after hearing this song, I'm thinking about what kind of Viking gear do I have for the next time I need to cosplay or go to a Ren fair or any of these things, because they make me want to be a Viking. That was a pretty cool. What is this cool? Such a cool sound. So it sounds like Lane's essentially using like a tongue trill. That's when you go brrr, like an R in Spanish or Italian. That's called a tongue trill. Don't confuse that with a brrr, lip trill, which is when your lips go wacka wacka wacka. Tongue trills brrr, with the tip of the tongue. And there's also the French R, which is in the back. Brrr, a little bit different. It's a uvular R then. This is really interesting because it sounds like he's essentially like blocking the air at different moments. So he's using like, I might be outer end, not sure, but using that air and the shape of his mouth as the air is going past to affect the pitch of the air. That's not going to have a definite pitch like when you sing, but it still does contain pitch. And then using a tongue trill at a couple points to create this really cool texture through it. That again. Oh, wait, did I miss out? I might have gotten lost here.
Steady, steady, course to the haven. Hew many foemen. Hew many foemen.
I love it. Let's go back. Let's listen to the end. So the last part is so effective, partly because we suddenly have the amazing vocal percussion drop. And then it looks like we've got more singing. I love that it's all on ooh. It really feels like it's bringing that end more inner. And there's something about the tone, the tone quality of this that feels a little more longing. Like, yeah, we're Vikings. So when we raid those villages, we're probably going to lose a few people. They might die. Oh, that's awful. Okay. But anyhow, you get the idea. There's like a certain mournfulness to it in this ending. Those coats though. Yeah. I need a coat like that, guys. Okay, one more time. I think it's interesting. I think throughout this song, that do 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 sounds like it might have gotten tossed to different parts. Which is really fun. So many of these guys are just Actually, I think every one of them are incredibly talented and can switch into different parts. I don't know how low Jose and Ellie's voice go, but I think that we've heard Jay and Lane both go pretty low as well. So it's just really crazy to hear how they can interweave. They have that option, and they're able to do it so much that I don't know which of them have been singing do 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 do.
My mother told me someday I will buy.
Okay, so of course they should put that like didgeridoo moment of Jeff there. That's such a cool, what a great way to really use Jeff's super low notes within a song. I like that a lot. I have so much respect for what they do, and I love that they did this Viking song, but I really, really, really wish it were like 5 times longer. Vikings and low notes. Oh my. This was excellent. Excellent. Of course it was. I have come to expect excellence from VoicePlay. They are just so creative and fun and really, really, really good at singing and at vocal production. And I love this video production direction. Really cool to capitalize on that Viking trend right now. I am really excited to get to interview Jeff right after this video premieres today and ask him some about the crazy techniques that he can do. He's able to go in so many different parts of his range, which we heard some of in this video. And I think it was so fun to hear, the smoothness of Jeff's voice paired with that brightness that we heard in Jose Rosario's voice. And the smoky and like harsh rock kind of vocals that Ellie was bringing to this, that was a treat. And always, always loving Jay's vocals. He just exudes this happy energy. It's wonderful. And I love the way his voice has like so much balance in the sound. It's got buzz and it's got depth in it at the same time, really healthy airflow all the time. And then it was really fun to hear some of those super creative sounds that Lane was making and see him also singing. So just across the board, love what they did with this. This is going to be probably one of my favorite VoicePlay songs now. So I'm going to go listen to that again off camera. And I hope that you will comment down below what songs you would like to see on this channel next. Okay, we do read those. We especially look for your recommendations in YouTube comments, and then we tally those up and do the ones you recommend the most. And you can find us and talk to us some more at Patreon, or if you want to learn more about music or singing in general, I have courses about that at thecharismaticvoice.com. See you somewhere soon.